greetings to those of you joining us on YouTube. Glad you're tuning in. And today's theme is peace. Peace is defined as a state of tranquility or quiet, such as the freedom from civil disturbance, in other words, war. The freedom from the freedom from being disturbed by people, noise, etc., and freedom from disquieting or oppressive thoughts or emotions. So there is exterior peace from war or violence or other people, noise, demands, and then there is an interior peace, which can be seen as an inner stillness, calm, or serenity. And we can see often how outer and inner peace can be connected and reliant upon each other. Peace in our environment can definitely increase the chances of acquiring inner calm. It doesn't guarantee it, but exterior peace can pave the way for inner calm for sure. It certainly can't hurt. The lack of peace out here can prevent us from having that inner calm because of things like anxiety, depression, overwhelm. Here's the thing. When we can cultivate inner peace and stillness, the exterior circumstances no longer get to dictate our moods and sense of well-being. And I acknowledge, friends, that this is much easier said than done and takes continual training. So in our fast-paced culture, inner peace can feel like it's out of reach. Like, come on, inner peace, I don't have all day. Our minds are often filled with clutter, anxiety about the future, regrets about the past, trying to survive the present moment. So today I want to focus on some ways that we can cultivate that inner peace, that interior stillness and serenity, so that we can tap into that when our exterior circumstances get dicey, because they will. We can't control what happens out here, but with practice, we can control what happens in here. One reason that people may have a multitude of stress and not a lot of inner peace is foregoing the things that matter to them the most. Addiction stole a lot of those things from us. The things that allow us to relax and have a sense of joy, love, connection, and contentment. These are things where we lose track of time due to the contentment, connection, and happiness we feel while doing them. It could be spending time with friends and family, gardening, art, music, a sport, hiking, sewing, knitting, woodworking, cooking, or baking. This is not an exhaustive list. We relax while doing these activities, and our mind shuts off in a good way. And we are simply present in the moment. We're not thinking about the past or the future. We're in the moment, which is mindfulness. All of this allows us to cultivate not only relaxation, but that inner peace. Meditation is another way to do that. Some of the items on the enjoyment list I just mentioned are meditative in nature, meaning that we can be alone with our thoughts, unimpeded, while we are partaking in these things. Gardening, making art, being creative in any way, music, hiking, being alone with our thoughts allows us to get to know ourselves in a way that we can't otherwise. Silence does that as well. Every year, Brother Tenzin would embark on a silent retreat for a month, y'all, to deepen his practice of mindfulness and meditation. This retreat was not just a break from speaking, it was an opportunity to listen to himself and to the world. During one such retreat, he observed how noise infiltrates daily life, be it from technology or constant conversation. In silence, however, he discovered layers of understanding about himself that were previously hidden beneath distractions. Each breath became a reminder of his existence. By the end of this retreat, Brother Tenzin emerged with renewed energy and purpose. He was reminded of how silence can serve as a powerful grounding tool that fosters self-discovery and inner tranquility. Regardless if a month of silence intrigues or horrifies you, most of us are not going to go on a month-long silent retreat. But we can make and appreciate pockets of silence in which to simply be alone with our thoughts to help with our inner state of peace. It can be minutes, hours, or even days. Another tool for us to utilize is reflection, which can happen when we are quiet or doing a meditative activity, verbally processing, journaling, or perhaps listening to music. Again, not an exhaustive list. It is said that we don't learn from our experiences. We learn from reflection on our experiences. And in reflection, we gain perspective about what really matters in this life. And when we get into the habit of putting things into perspective, we can let go of many things that are weighing us down and keeping us from that inner peace. Letting go is a big one in helping us increase our inner peace. It might be letting go of a relationship, material possessions, expectations, thought patterns, or habits. But one that affects many lives is letting go of control. When we attempt to try and control the universe and everyone in it, we are living in a state of constant frustration and angst because controlling others and the world is impossible. So the more we work on letting go of the need to control, the higher our inner peace climbs. Letting go can be related to forgiveness, which is another important variable of inner peace. Lena was carrying the weight of resentment towards her estranged father who left when she was a child. For years, this unresolved anger consumed her thoughts until one day she realized that holding on to this negativity was harming her, not him. Determined to release this burden, Lena began journaling about her feelings, the pain, the anger, the sadness, but also the understanding that people are flawed and capable of change. After much contemplation, she decided to write her father a letter expressing her feelings, but also extending forgiveness. Sending that letter brought Lena immense relief. She felt lighter, as if a heavy stone had been lifted from her chest. This act didn't change their relationship overnight, but granted Lena a sense of peace within herself, a testament to how forgiveness can be an essential step towards finding inner serenity. We don't forgive for the other person. We forgive for us because it's heavy and it can be toxic. Carrying around all that bitterness and anger that goes along with the pain. It doesn't mean we agree with what happened or that we forget. It just means that we grant ourselves freedom from the burden of carrying it around day in and day out. Connecting to something bigger than ourselves can cultivate inner peace. Prayer is one way to achieve that. Noticing awe and wonder is another fantastic way to remember that we are not the be-all and all. It's a relief, too. a freedom that comes with that thought, because so often we think the whole world depends solely on us, and we have to solve all the things, but we don't. We need perspective, one day at a time. Emma was feeling overwhelmed by the pressures of her job and the demands of daily life. Seeking solace, she decided to take a solo hiking trip into the mountains. The journey was not just physical, it was a spiritual quest. As she hiked through the winding trails surrounded by towering trees and breathtaking vistas, she felt her worries begin to dissolve. One morning, she reached a serene lake nestled among the peaks. The waters were still, reflecting the sky's vibrant hues. And as she sat by the shore, Emma closed her eyes and breathed in deeply. She felt a profound connection to nature. The stillness allowed her mind to quiet. This experience taught her that grounding oneself in nature can provide clarity and peace amongst chaos. Nature is a perfect way to connect with something bigger than us. Watch a sunrise or a sunset. Appreciate the night sky on a clear day. Take in the rolling surf and the vastness of the ocean. Notice how small you are in contrast to the universe, in a good way. All of this allows us to get some perspective and foster that peace within. The last thing I will mention today, I talked about last week, and that is kindness. Receiving the kindness of others and sharing kindness ourselves reminds us of how connection is the spiritual food we crave. We are all in this together. One winter afternoon, Sam found himself rushing through town to meet an important deadline at work when he noticed an elderly woman struggling with heavy groceries outside of the store. Despite his pressing schedule, something compelled him to stop and help her carry the bags to the car. As they walked together, she shared stories about her life, her struggles during tough times, and how acts of kindness from strangers had made a significant impact on her journey. Sam felt an unexpected warmth radiating from this encounter. His worries about deadlines faded away as he focused on being present in this moment. This simple act reminded him of the interconnectedness of humanity. The idea that kindness can ground us and inspire positivity, not only in ourselves, but in others. These types of encounters grant us perspective. Now, all the things we've been thinking about this morning, they don't just happen on their own. Intentionality is necessary. We don't take the time to do any of these. We make the time. That is what is required. No one will do it for us. It is not easy in our hectic lives, but the more we practice these things, the time we make for meditative activities we enjoy, for connection, for silence and reflection, for awe and wonder, and for kindness, for gaining perspective. The more space within our hearts, minds, and spirits for the peace that can be our compass in any storm. Remember that the definition of any kind of peace includes the word freedom. Freedom. So let's take a few moments of silence now, and I invite you to reflect on an aspect of inner peace that stood out to you today and what you might do about it this week. Amen.